Hello and welcome to the Economy This Week series of Drishti IAS. I am Ritu and today's session is about important economic events which had happened in the last week. So we are going to discuss the important economic events, and as you already know that this session is important for your GA's 3 perspective. Moving towards the points of discussion part. So first of all, we are going to discuss about the minimum wages for farm and industrial workers. After that, we are going to discuss about center turn in edible oil. Then we are going to discuss about global innovation index and unemployment rate stagnant. So these all unemployment rate stagnant we are going to discuss in terms of India. Global innovation index will largely discuss in terms of India. This news is also center turn in edible oil and minimum wages for farm and industrial workers. These all topics are very much important for examination, for prelims as well as mains, because these are the analytical topics and they can ask question related to it. So coming to the next one, which is about, so before moving to news part, I want to tell you that we have an important announcement by Drishti IAS. As you already know that Drishti IAS has several branches across the country, and it has decided to launch GS Foundation course of IAS, and this is exclusively for the English medium. So Prayagraj 3rd October 2024 11:30 am, this is for Prayagraj, which is Allahabad also. Jaipur 7th October 2024 5:30 pm. Lucknow 16th October 2024 8 am. Karol Bagh Delhi 17th October 2024 8 am. And if you want to call or know anything related to these programs, you can call on to the 8010440440. I'll repeat 8010440440. And if you are staying nearby, you can also visit the offline center. Coming to the news part. So the first news is the minimum wages for farm and industrial workers. So as you already know that union government and state government has this authority that they can revise the wages of industrial workers, farm workers, and this is a constitutional and this is legal, and so anybody, any private contractual or anybody cannot interfere into this matter. So whatever comes into their domain, they can revise it. So this time union government has decided that they will revise the minimum wages for farm and agriculture laborers. So farm, agriculture and industrial also. So union government on Thursday raised central minimum wages for agricultural and industrial worker, and which are linked to skill level and sector types. So under the provision of Minimum Wages Act, both the central and state government are empowered to fix, review and revise the floor wages. So it's up to them, and it's total their jurisdiction that they can revise under the Minimum Wages Act 1948. So here we'll come to that what revision they had carried out. So after revision, the minimum wages rates for workers in construction, sweeping, cleaning, loading, unloading, unskilled work will be rupees 783 per day or rupees 20,358 a month. So you cannot give less than this amount or less than this amount, whichever is higher. Like you can give daily wise also rupees 783 per day, and you can give monthly wise also rupees 20,358 per month. Then for semi-skilled, the rate will be rupees 868 per day or 22,568 per month. So whichever is higher, and this is for the skilled clerical and wards without arms. It has been raised to 954 rupees 954 a day to rupees 24,804 a month, whichever is higher. Then in terms of highly skilled and watch and ward with arms, so here it was without arms and here it is with arms. So there is the floor wage will be 1,035 per day or rupees 26,910 a month, whichever is higher. So this is the minimum wage for farm laborers, industrial workers. And why it needs revision? Because we can see that inflation is happening, and so many, after a time the prices are rising. So after reviewing the consumer price index, the government takes such kind of decision, and this time this is twice in a year. So it's up to the government that they are increasing or not. So in order to have a better standard of living and in order to improve the economic condition of the workers, the government takes this decision periodically. So this is about them. Now we'll come to the next one. Next one is about Global Innovation Index 2024. So this edition is of 2024. So last time we have secured 40 rank, but this time we have improved and we have improved one spot, and India has secured 39 rank out of 133 nation. So here India secured the top position among lower middle income countries, ahead of Vietnam and Philippines with a score of 38.3. So India secured top position in lower middle income countries. As you already know, there are so many categories and India falls into the lower middle income countries. The country has steadily climbed the index in recent year, improving from the rank of 81 in 2015 to rank of 39 in 2024. So in last 9 years, we have halved our spot. China, India, Indonesia, Islamic Republic of Iran, Philippines, Turkey, Vietnam and Morocco are the middle income economies with a Global Innovation Index top 70, and that have climbed most in the ranking of 2013. So we will discuss about all the middle income countries. So we have comparatively done better, and country showed a substantial growth in international patent filings in the year with 44.6% increase. So this is about the Global Innovation Index 2024. For exam point of view, for especially prelims, the score is important. And what is the rank? Here we'll have a static portion that who releases such kind of the indexes. So it is published by World Intellectual Property Organization. This is also very important for your prelims examination, that it is published by World Intellectual Property Organization, and it is reliable tool for government across the world to access innovation-led social and economic changes. So it promotes innovation because innovation improves the socio-economic status of the people and it has a greater impacts in terms of economy. So that's why government and different kind of organization releases such kind of the reports in order to have a spirit of competition and to improve each other conditions. So here we'll discuss about World Intellectual Property Organization. So it works with the vision of encouraging creative activity and promoting the protection of intellectual property through the world. So it also promotes the creating activity and also raises the safeguard for the creative thing and also the patent world, property rights. WIPO is one of the 15 specialized agency of United Nations. So this is very much clear that it is a 15 specialized agency of United Nations, and currently there are 193 members of the World Intellectual Property Organization, and where its headquarters is located, so it's in Geneva. So this is about Global Innovation Index and the rank of India is 39. So now we'll come to the next one. Center turn in edible oil. This is the news. Centers pro farmers turn in edible oils. So on September 13, the government has hiked the custom duty on imported crude palm, soybean, sunflower oil from 0 to 20%. So here we have to understand that what is basic custom duty. So basic custom duty is that it levied on the imported goods. So suppose that we are living in this country and we import so much of soybean oil from the other countries. And if there is a domestic producer who are producing soybean oil, who are making soybean oil, so what happened that if we will be able to get cheaper imported oil, then there are high chances that domestic products will be neglected. So in order to promote and boost domestic production, the government takes such kind of decision, and it was happening in case of palm crude oil a lot. So that's why government took such kind of decision. So from the effective import duty increase for crude oil is 5.5% to 27.5% after adding 5% agricultural infrastructure. On refined oils which attract only the 10% surcharge on the BCD, the increase in effective import duty is 13.75% to 35.75%. So this has been significantly increased, and the reason I have already mentioned that in order to boost the domestic activity, the domestic production, and people should also focus on the domestic made products. The government takes such kind of decisions so that our export would be better rather than import. And in the recent what we have seen that there was so much of import of such kind of materials, so that's why the government has to take such kind of the decisions. So here this approach is called as from pro-consumer to pro-producer. This term you can use in your mains examination, that how government is turning from pro-consumer to pro-producer. Because suppose that if we are getting cheaper products and that too imported, so people will always have this tendency that they will focus on the cheaper products. And here what the government has focused on the pro-producer. So the domestic producer who are in the loss of such kind of the custom duty, so the government has decided to favor them, and that's why they had come with this kind of decision, and that's why this approach is called as from pro-consumer to pro-producer, and eventually in the longer run it will help both. So this is about that news. Now we'll come to the next one. Unemployment rate stagnant. Unemployment rate stagnant reveals government survey. So here we'll discuss about a government survey, and the name of survey is Periodic Labor Force Survey. We often discuss about such kind of the survey, and what this survey has reported. So the survey has reported that there was no major change in unemployment rate, and there is minor increase in distribution of workers in agriculture, and manufacturing sector has no growth in giving jobs compared to the last year. So this survey has not told a very promising result, but here we'll discuss about the findings of the survey. So according to this survey, the participation of women workforce has also improved, and the center had because so many people had created lots of criticism against government that they are not improving the working women condition, and women are not promoted and empowered to work into the industries and come to any sector. So after this kind of criticization, we can see that there was a slightly improvement in terms of women as a workforce, and we have seen that in rural areas the labor force participation rate increased from 50.7% in 2017-18 to 63.7% in 2023 and 4. So there was a 13%, almost 13% of increase in last 6-7 years, which is very positive, but this number should have increased. While for urban areas it increased from 47.6% to 52%. So in rural areas labor force participation has increased, but in urban area it has slightly increased. If we'll talk about the male, so LFPR for male is India's increased from 75.8% in 2017-18 to 78.8%. So there was marginal increase in male, that 75.8% to 78.8%. So in last 6-7 years, this is not much positive result. So if we'll discuss about the LFPR for female, so it has increased from 23.3% to 41.7%, which is a very promising in terms of women. It has almost doubled. So that's why women workforce has improved, but when we talk about the overall workforce improvement, so that has not much improved, because you can see that male workforce has not improved. So here we'll have a data. So this is data about the women workforce, male workforce, and overall in general. So here if you'll see the 2017-18 data, women workforce was 23.3%. And if we'll discuss about nowadays data, so it has 41.7%. Here the male was 75.8%, the male was 78.8%, and this is for both rural and urban areas, and overall in general, so 49.8%, and right now it is 60.1%. So what we have seen that it has slightly increased, but women participation has increased and improved a lot. We will discuss about the other also, that from last year how much we have improved. So in terms of female, we have increased from 37.41.7. In terms of overall, we can see that 57.9 to 60.1. In terms of male, there was slightly, very slight change. So 78.5 to 78.8. So here we need to work on, And here also we need to work on, because 41.7 workforce is not enough. If we'll compare to the men, it has almost doubled. It is like 41% for female and 78 for the male. So we need to bridge this gap. And here if we'll take data religion wise, so what we have seen that LFPR for Muslim women increased from 15% in 2021 to 21.4% in 2023 to 4. So there is a positive thing that we can see that from 15% the Muslim women has increased their participation and it has become 21.4, and it is just in 3-4 years. In the case of Hindu women, the participation in workforce has increased and from 26.1% to 33.3%. So there is also 7% increase. Here also we can see that 7 to 8% increase. And similarly, in case of Sikh and Christian women, the LFPR increased from 19.8% to 26.7%, and in terms of Christian women, 34.2% to 38.3%. So if we'll discuss overall that which community women are improving and they had a better participation rate. So Christian women has a better participation rate, and we have also participation rate of Hindu women, then we have Sikh women, and at last we have this Muslim women. So if we'll talk about the overall female participation in labor, so Christian women are doing better, and we need to work more on the participation of Muslim women, Sikh women, and also Hindu women. These all data are not promising in any terms, but if we'll talk about the overall in terms of women, we are showing some positive change. So here it comes a green picture. Though this annual survey has released and it is showing that it has improved and the participation of female has been improved. So if you'll see the overall thing, then overall it has improved. And why it is showing that it has improved? Because participation in workforce in agriculture area has increased, and women are mostly involved and indulged into the agricultural works. So that's why we can see the improvement in females participation in labor workforce. But if we'll talk about the overall, the picture is green. The people are still not getting work and they have this problem of stagnancy. So if we'll discuss about the overall picture, we cannot say that it is satisfactory for this country. Now we'll come to the question round. The first question is, what was the reported trend in the labor force participation rate for women in India between 2017-18 to 2023-4 as per the PLFS? It declined from 23.3% to 18.7%. It increased from 23.3% to 41.7%. It remained stagnant at 23.3%. It decreased marginally from 23.3% to 21.7%. So you have to answer this. Now we'll come to the second question. The second question is, in the Global Innovation Index, India climbed one spot to rank 38, 40, 39, 41. This you already know. Then we'll come to the third question. Why did the Indian government decide to increase custom duties on imported edible oils in September 2024? And this can be any year, so you have to know that why the government has decided to increase edible oil, custom duty on edible oil. So this is a common tendency, so you can answer accordingly. To reduce domestic oilseed production, to protect the interest of oilseed farmers in India, to promote the import of refined oils, to stabilize global edible oil prices. So you have to answer this. Now we'll come to the last question. Under which act does the Union government have the authority to fix, review and revise minimum wages? We already discussed one of the acts. Payment of Wages Act 1936, Industrial Disputes Act 1947, Minimum Wages Act 1948, Factories Act 1948. So you have to answer this into the comment section, and you have to prepare all these topics for your mains point of view. Suppose that what LFPR data shows in terms of women participation, why it is showing a positive trend in terms of women participation, what initiative does government had to take to promote the women participation in workforce. So this can be one of your mains question and you have to revise it. Then you have to also see the stagnancy in unemployment rate. So which of the initiatives where the government can be helpful to improve these kind of condition and how we can give and provide jobs to our youth. So this is also one of the question. Then overall you can also see that what is the custom duty, this can be asked in your examination, and how it will be imposed. Does it have any impact on the domestic market or not? So that's it for today's session. I hope you like this session. If you have any queries related to this session, kindly ask in the comment section. Thank you. Have a nice day.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.